Okay, we are back, and this video, again, I'm documenting my very first time for the reloading process on 223 ammunition, start to finish. So far, I've done the preparation of the brass. It's all complete. I have 50 rounds here that are primed and ready to get charged, or 50 cases rather, primed, ready to get charged with powder. So today I went and bought this powder right here. You can see that. This is Hodgdon, and it's H335 powder. With that, I'll be using the Lee rifle cartridge die for reloading. So this would be for the powder, using this Lee Pro Auto Disc power measure. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take all this apart, put it together. After I've done putting it together, then we'll start charging some rounds. Okay, I got this installed, and what I'm going to do, just kind of give you a little idea of what this is. This is the Lee Pro Auto Disc power measure, and it installs right on a charging die on the single stage press. And basically how this is going to work is once you have the right powder disc in there, they look kind of like these little things right here. Once you have that installed on this little track, the powder goes in here. As the lever goes back, it'll charge, the powder will fall into this little hole here that's pre-measured, and then that'll fall into the casing, which is going to be a charged cartridge. So what I did, so I could double check my measurements, is about a half a dozen times I went ahead with a spent primer in the old cartridge and just went back and forth, dumped the powder up and down, dumped the powder, so I can make sure I was getting consistent charge. And then once I did that a half a dozen times, basically all I did was take on my electronic scale right here and took a charge round, dumped the powder into this, onto the scale, and then measured it out to make sure that I'm getting my right starting grains. So I hopefully won't blow myself up. So did a little research on that, and now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to get started on this. One of the things I am going to do in the future is if anybody's going to decide to pick up this Pro Auto Disc charging this powder measure, I guess, what I'm going to do is a video on how to set it up, because it took me a little bit of time to try to figure it out. There's not anything on YouTube that does that either, so for those of you that are not the brightest bulb in the lamp like me, then I'm going to go ahead and do that. But everything's pre-done. Now we are good to go, and I'm going to start charging a couple of rounds, or keep calling these rounds, supposed to be called cases. So I'm going to charge some cases and then set those aside, and then we'll go ahead and do the next video, which will be seating the bullets. So here we go. And that is a charged round case. Pretty neat little gadget. And basically what this has done, when I measured the number of grains, it's supposed to be starting grain of 23 is the starting grain, and apparently that's what it charges each of these. Dumping the powder, heating the powder, charging the powder. I've heard all kinds of stuff on YouTube of what people call this, so I don't know what I'm going to call it. I'll just say I'm charging cases, I guess. But pretty simple process. There's not much to it either. So far this has been a pretty easy. So alright, I think you've seen enough on this and how it works. I may redo this video later on because, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just getting started in this. So, but anyway, that's how it works. It's a pretty neat little gadget, and it's pretty easy to set up once you read the instructions.